Luke chapter 21 verses 5 to 19. By your perseverance you will secure your lives. While some people were speaking about how the temple was adorned with costly stones and votive offerings, Jesus said, "All that you see here, the days will come when there will not be left a stone upon another stone that will not be thrown down." Then they asked him, "Teacher, when will this happen, and what sign will there be when all these things are about to happen?" He answered, "See that you not be deceived, for many will come in my name, saying, 'I am he,' and the time has come. Do not follow them. When you hear of wars and insurrections, do not be terrified, for such things must happen first, but it will not immediately be the end." Then he said to them, "Nation will rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. There will be powerful earthquakes, famines, and plagues from place to place, and awesome sights and mighty signs will come from the sky. Before all this happens, however, they will seize and persecute you, they will hand you over to the synagogues and to prisons, and they will have you led before kings and governors, because of my name. It will lead to your giving testimony. Remember, you are not to prepare your defense beforehand, for I myself shall give you a wisdom in speaking, that all your adversaries will be powerless to resist or refute. You will even be handed over by parents, brothers, relatives, and friends, and they will put some of you to death. You will be hated by all because of my name, but not a hair on your head will be destroyed. By your perseverance you will secure your lives." Today's reading is about the coming destruction of the Jerusalem temple. The temple, the disciples were admiring, was not Solomon's temple, which had been destroyed by the Babylonians in August of 586 BC. Solomon's temple had been built by Ezra after the return from exile later in the 6th century BC. It was defiled by the Seleucids in the 2nd century BC, and reconsecrated by the Maccabees soon afterwards. Then Herod the Great expanded it over a 46-year period. It was a beautiful structure, but Jesus said that it would be completely destroyed. Gessius Florus was the Roman procurator, or governor, of Judea from 64 until 66. He hated the Jews, and whenever possible he caused them hardship in one form or another. In 66 AD tax revenues were small, compared to previous years, so he raided the temple treasury. The Jews were furious, and it was the flashpoint that set off a rebellion that had been smoldering for some time. The Roman view of rebellions were to absolutely crush the rebels. Nero died, Vespasian became the new emperor, and sent Titus to crush the revolt. It was in 70 AD that the Roman army burned Jerusalem. Titus successfully destroyed Jerusalem, and took the temple apart stone by stone, so he could harvest all the gold which had melted into the cracks of the temple wall. Thus there was not one stone left upon another. In today's Gospel we hear Jesus preparing his disciples for what the future will bring. He warned them about false messiahs, natural disasters, and persecutions. He assured them that he would be with them to protect them and make his kingdom known through their teaching. Jesus then promised that he would return in power and glory to save them. Jesus' warnings and promises to his disciples also apply to us as we also await his return. Luke goes on to tell us more about the many Christian persecutions in the book of Acts. Paul wrote from prison that he suffered gladly because it helped him know Christ better and do Christ's work for the church. The early church flourished in spite of extreme persecutions. It is comforting to know even when we feel completely abandoned, the Holy Spirit will remain in us. He will comfort us, protect us, and give us the words that we need when we need them. This guarantee can give us the courage and hope to stand firm in our faith no matter how difficult the situation may be. Sadly, persecution and death for the faith continues even today. According to a chaplain, Friday's massacre of 29 Coptic Christians who were on their way to a monastery in Egypt occurred after Islamic radicals marched them off the bus one by one, and asked each of them, including the children, to renounce their Christian faith and profess belief in Islam, but all of them, even the children, refused. Each was killed in cold blood with a gunshot to the head or the throat.